Okay, guys, here we go. Um, while we were insulating the inside of this trailer, I started noticing that anytime we were in there running the heat and it was a really cold day and we were in there breathing, the inside of all of the metal tubing frames and the walls and ceiling would get a lot of condensation on them and start sweating, even through the aluminum tape and everything we put on them. And I really didn't want a bunch of condensation and sweat coming through when I put the wood siding on it. So a friend of mine had this idea, hey, we should go get this spray foam stuff and drill a hole in the wall studs and in the ceiling studs and just squirt it full of foam. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. So here's what we did. We bought, let me preface this. Hold on. We figured we'd need about maybe 8 cans. So I bought 12 thinking that would be more than enough. And we blasted through those very quickly. We realized that each stud takes an entire can of this stuff. So we blasted through the first 12 and then had to go back and buy 15 more cans. So we've got 27 cans. 27 cans of this stuff. Well, I have 2 left over, so I guess 25. 25 cans of this stuff. And there was this episode I remember of Ricky Ricardo. I Love Lucy. Ricky Ricardo, he was making some rice. Sorry, that's the heater. So there's this episode where Ricky Ricardo was making rice. Him and Lucy traded places. And he put like 6 pounds of rice inside the pot and started cooking it. And no matter what he did, it just started overflowing and he just could not stop it. So we put an entire can in each and every one of these wall studs and sealed them up, and we thought we were doing just great. And then they started just exploding out. Oh, here's one actively still squishing out. They just started exploding out, and the results are just, oh man, we just have a huge freaking mess is what we've got. It just started pouring out from every dang place. Just to put this in perspective, this is like the size of a softball. So, in retrospect, I'm really glad that we've got everything sealed up. But this is definitely a Ricky Ricardo rice situation that we got ourselves into. Here's the best part. I just can't. There's just so much. It's just an absolute disaster zone in here. The best part is we didn't realize that the bottom of the studs were open. So it started pouring out. I can't even do it. It started pouring out of the bottom of the trailer. Pretty much every stud. We've already picked up a bunch of them. There were these huge mountains underneath each stud. It just poured out and made big mountains on the ground. So yeah, in retrospect, I guess an entire can per wall stud was not the best idea, but good news is there are no gaps anywhere in this thing now. It is sealed up. So yeah, good times. We are getting this thing sealed up airtight. So more, we're gonna let this harden and get a saw and cut all these stalactites off. And yeah, that's just a lot of fun right there. But at least we're getting it all sealed up. So hopefully that will help the condensation issue. And big shout out to Super Sandy Cloth. These little alcohol wipes have come in incredibly handy. Alright, well, more updates to come. The other thing we did, I forgot to show it. was we did install this little, oh, there it is. I haven't actually wired it yet, but we installed that for when we're at a campsite. I'm going to run 2 lines through there, one for shore power and one for the battery charging system to keep the batteries fresh when it's not in use. And if you're at a campsite, you can plug up with that and you can just run all the 12-volt stuff you want and never have to worry about running the battery dead. So good times, it's coming right along. More updates to come.